wonder why the bubbles stopped moving. I know there's probably no one here, but I figured this is just kind of like a test to get familiar with YouTube and how it works. Trish, Eugenia Dish. Well, whether anybody's here or not, I guess I can say what I wanted to say anyway. Stop it. Leave these girls alone. They have issues. They have mental wellness issues. Eugenia Cooney, everybody's saying she's anorexic. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. I was anorexic. Her body does not look like an anorexic's body because she actually has muscle tone. So for all the blathering that everybody does about her, just shut up. Leave her alone. It's her life. You don't like looking at her? You worried about her? Fine. But just leave her alone. It's her life. Or her death. Whatever the case may be. But you don't know. We don't know what she might be suffering from. She might have some kind of disease or, some kind of an ailment that makes her stay skinny. If you look at her face is fine. She doesn't have that anorexic look like most anorexic people look at, especially the weight that she's probably at now, which is probably about 80 pounds. I know I was down to 86 pounds and I'm 5'4". I know she's 5'5". So just leave her alone. And maybe that's why her mother's not worried about her eating habits, because her mother knows that she has to go in every once in a while. Maybe she needs to get some, glucose or some kind of IV that gives her some kind of nourishment. Maybe she gets blood transfusions. Maybe she has some kind of leukemia. Who the hell knows? But, people got to just, that are like really ragging on her, just stop it. And Trish, my God, doesn't she have enough issues of her own for people to be getting down on her like they have been? For how long? Nobody's ever going to let her pass. Nobody's ever going to give her a chance. What is everybody so worried about? I think sometimes people are ragging on other people because they're jealous. They're jealous that they have and others have not, you know? Because these people are making money. Regardless of what the haters say, these people are making money. And the more you hate, the better their views will be. Because word gets around. Oh, so and so was talking about this one, and so and so was talking about that one. You know? So just leave them alone. If you don't like them, just don't go there. That's the easiest thing in the world. We live in a country, at least I do, America. We have freedom of speech. I didn't like that there was Nazi and Aryans and good old boys, not good old boys. I forget what they're called. These glad boys, happy boys, or something like that, that are for Trump. They were at a drag show. I think it was in Ohio or something. All of them, the Aryans, the Nazis, the unwoken dead, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just checking this out, and I just wanted to see if how this works. Hey, Kel, how you doing awake? talking about Eugenia Cooney and Trisha Paytas. It's just very annoying to me that people are just like they're just ripping these girls apart. They're just like making matters worse than they already are for them. It's like, what do you want to add more stress to somebody's life? Just leave them alone. Go watch Graveyard Girl. She's terrific. I recommend her to young people, to kids even. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine, Cal. Uh, Graveyard Girl. I mean, she's just she's super duper. She does a lot of interesting things, especially with like miniature stuff. And does this thing really work? Which is she'll look at a product that's new on the market and she'll give her honest opinion of it. And then there's Melissa, who's the cheap chick, and she does hauls from thrift shops, and then she has like a flea market thing she does, and Timu, which is a site that I am so hooked on, and she got me hooked on it. I'm doing good. And who else do I like? Oh, Bailey Sarian, who does makeup, murder, no, mystery, murder makeup. Well, it's three M's, and she also does dark history. Love her broadcasts, and people even like knocking her on Twitter. It's like, if you don't want to watch anything about true crime, then just go somewhere else. She does on Monday. She does true crime. On Thursday, she does dark history, which is history that you're not going to hear in history in seen history books that are in schools. So I don't know. And then who else do I like on here? Oh, Easy Curiosity Inc. That's a great channel for people of all ages, young and old. And they're nice. They really do a lot of good for the community, for their own community in Canada. And they're an inspiration to people. Um, Sambuca, he's pretty funny. Uh, Ice Cream Popsicle does a cartoon. I think that's his name. He's hilarious. See, that's what I don't get. It's like there's a million probably broadcasters that you can tune into, but nobody wants to just you know just play nice. Unless they can be causing a little drama somewhere, people are not happy. There's enough freaking drama in this world right now. We don't need any more drama. People are just trying to make a living. They're trying to get through every minute of every stinking day with the world that's gone crazy. The world right now is totally insane. So I don't know why anybody would want to make somebody else's life miserable, and life is miserable enough for so many. You know, like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I guess it's like TMZ and all them. It's like I don't understand those shows. I just don't get it. It's like, and why are we so hung up in people? Oh, that's a nice thing to ask. Oh my God. This is not a personal a personal broadcast. This is a YouTube thing. Um I forgot what I was saying now. What was I saying? I was talking about the bad drama channels and the gossip, and why are we people so hung up in celebrities or influencers' lives and what they do personally? No, I know. Larry called me, and then I got distracted and I totally forgot. But anyway, on just all these, it's like nobody has anything good to. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. That's like basic old adage that my mother and my great grandmothers and all the mothers before me used to tell their children. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. You know, because nobody's interested in if you're. Well, I shouldn't say that. Today, people are interested if you have nothing nice to say about other people. They get off on that somehow. It's a I don't know. I guess it's a quirk of that we have as human beings, that we want to make life difficult for some people because I guess there's probably jealousy and envy falls into it somewhere. You know, I think that's got to be the reason. Can try not to use any. I'm kind of anonymous here, so I don't want to talk about anything personal on here. My subject matter here is YouTubers and influencers and celebrities, and how they're getting so much collateral damage because of what people are gossiping about them. They don't even know whether it's true or not. Like Eugenia Cooney, I was talking about her earlier. That poor thing is dragged through the mud. Trisha Paytas is dragged through the mud. Um, social uh, social repos. Yeah, he's gets flack. You know, um, you don't have to like everybody. It's not a thing of question of liking. You can have an interest in people. You can have an interest in people and be curious about what's going on, but you can't constantly be badgering people. You can't. It's mind numbing. You can't be constantly expecting people to give. They're giving enough of themselves already just by trying to reach an audience, to get a point across, or to bring attention to a certain subject matter or a certain cause. And that's all good. If you have a big following and stuff and you do that, you should be acknowledged for the good that you do, not for the bad. And they do bad things, but who doesn't? I mean, who among us can cast a first stone? You know, if you don't know anybody that is like Eugenia Cooney, or you don't know anybody like Trisha Paytas, or you don't know anybody like Social Repose, or you don't know anybody like um, Deaf Noodles, or who else do I see gets a lot of hate? No, that's all I can think of right now. Uh, Julia from mm, what I forget her name. Her show is Ready to Glare. I think it's Ready to Glare. She's so informative, and she's so open. She's so honest. She's so real. These people are being real. When people are real, then let them be themselves. They're doing a lot more than we can ever do as just laypersons, who are more viewers than influences or whatever. It's just that, like, I'm just really like, I went over by Reddit, and just the things they say over there. And I remember Reddit. I used to belong to Reddit when it first started. I even had my own page on Reddit when there was this really nasty case of Casey Anthony and murder of her daughter, and the people that were on there were vicious. so vicious that I had to leave. I had to stop. I couldn't continue with it. Uh, my page was the Court of Public Opinion, and I had a decent following, and but after a while, it just got like, you know, I just, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with people harassing and making other people try to feel less than. I'm not saying you have to build people up, because I think it's pretty sickening when people say, "Oh, my queen," or "Oh, here comes my king." Really, get over yourself. They're regular people. Yeah, you might get starstruck if you were to run into them for a second, but you know, they put their pants on one leg at a time. They sit down on a toilet bowl and wipe their butts just like we do. You know, they feel, they hurt, they got all the emotions that we were born with. Yeah, it's just too much. It's getting out of control since cancel culture came in. And for me, the internet, not having been brought up on it, I was already a grown adult when the internet came into play. And I mean, it's like the schoolyard used to be when I was in grammar school. Like, oh, so and so said something about so and so can't talk to this one because this one is mad at that one, and that one's boyfriend did this, and you know, it's just disgusting. And I think I just needed to vent tonight, because it's all getting just too much. So I have to stay away from Reddit, because I can't stand what they say on there. Eugenia Cooney, I think she's very funny sometimes, but it's useless. Useless to try to have any kind of conversation, or a nice communication, or just a nice place to go, just to hang out and not have to deal with like life matters. Just have fun. If you're on the internet and you're looking for trouble, you'll find it. But if you want to have fun, there's a lot of places out there where you can have fun. Go play some puzzle games or something. Go do something, um, that will, that will totally give you joy, or give you a soapbox, so to speak, to a platform that you might have, and you can, speak your piece, and say what's on your mind. I mean, that's the beauty of the internet, you know, is that there's something for everybody. So if you don't like what you're seeing, and you need to jump in and become a lynch mob on people who are trying to make a living, you have no sense. You have no common sense. That's what I'm finding out as I'm getting older. And I don't know if there's probably anybody here other than this one person, but if anybody listens to this later on, I'm an older woman. And I just think the way the younger people, I'm not talking about the younger, I mean just anybody younger than me, some of the generations after me, you guys are just nuts. Some of you. You're almost as bad as the people you're talking about. To me, it's like you have issues too. If you're saying something about this person, and you're getting off on it somehow, or it gets you some kind of notoriety, then you know it's like, maybe I'm too old for the internet. That's very possible. I might be too old for the internet. I just don't understand where people are going with it. It's such a remarkable and such a unbelievable achievement that in technology that I've grown up with, not grown up with, but I've grown into old age with, I should say. Young people coming up, this is like telephone was when, you know, when the telephone first came out, everybody was using the telephone and it was a big traction and everybody loved it, you know, and or talking movies, you know. It's the same attraction, but the internet, man, because it's so immediate, it's just, I don't know. I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes though, because well, age is a number, they say, but when you get to be a certain age, it's old. You can't run away from the fact that you're going to age, and at some point in your life, you're going to be old if you're lucky enough to get past your childhood, your adolescence, your adulthood, and then your seniorhood. You're blessed. You know, people say, "Oh, you're blessed. You know, you got to live this long." You know, people can, you know, die. You know, my brother, my mother's first child, lived for a few hours and then he died. I was just looking for him today. I was doing searches for the cemetery he's at because my mother never left that information for us. And I guess because it was a sensitive subject, nobody really pushed her or asked her, like, you know, where is Georgie? Where is he buried? You know, I found his death certificate doing research not too long ago, and from there I found out that he was at City Cemetery in New York. But there's like 1,000 city cemeteries, you know. So you know, I don't know. I think I'm just venting, and the internet is like a good place to vent. Whether anybody's listening to me or not, whether anybody hears me or not, it doesn't make a difference. It just gives me a release. It just lets me get off my shoulders what's weighing heavy. And not that it's weighing even really heavy, because truthfully, you know, people can do what you want. Do what you want. Do anything you want to do. Just don't leave children out of it. Don't hurt kids. Leave children alone. And that's it. You know, you wanna be cruel, and you wanna be, you know, hurtful, and you wanna be get attention, you know? Because I find that most people that are looking for attention are the ones that are complaining the most, you know? It's like I go into Graveyard Girls thing, and I laugh from the minute I get there till the end. Do the same thing with the Cheap Chick. Um, Same thing with well, Social Repose. He entertains because he sings, and I love his music. Um, Trisha, I'm not fan to her or anything, but I'll check in every once in a while because I know she's had to fight for a long time now, you know, and it's, you know, since she's become a mother, it's been like, oh God, if I was her, I'd probably have postpartum depression to the max, you know, because of what people say about her as a mother. You know, I like to see people that are new mothers have a camera on them, put a camera on them, and see how they're handling being a parent for the first time, especially if you've never had any experience with children, which I think in Trisha's case, she never has. She's never had a hands on with babies and stuff like that. Moses has because he has little siblings, and I think he has nieces and nephews, so he's been around children, you know, of what you have to do when you're raising them. When my niece, my nephew's wife, had their first child, and they came home. She never had any kind of interactions with children or babies anyway, infants. Never held an infant, never got involved. And the first day they come home, the baby was crying, and he wouldn't breastfeed for his mommy on his mommy, and he wouldn't take the bottle, and he was all cleaned and dried, and burped and all the things you do to try to figure out why the baby is crying. And she had like a little nervous breakdown, and went and locked herself in her bedroom, and said to her husband, "I'm sorry, I can't do this. I don't know how to be a mother." You know, she turned out want to be one of the best mothers I've ever known. Once she relaxed and just got into understanding that, certain things you have to do in raising children, she has three more now. I think she has four. They divorced a long time ago, but I think she has two or three more. And plus, she used to take care of another baby, and that baby was taken better care of than the actual mother took care of it. So you have to give yourself time. You have to give yourself a period of adjustment. It's like I said, especially if you have no experience with children at all. You know, so I don't know if anybody has. I don't know if anybody's here, but if anybody has any questions about what I'm talking about, it's how the hate is hate on these platforms. It's not just YouTube. It's not just YouNow. It's not just Twitter. It's not just Insta. It's not just you know uh, TikTok. Go to any minor social media app, and you see it. It's all over the place. You know. But I guess we can't expect too much when the whole country is just going down the tubes. The whole world is going down the tubes. I think so. But I'm going to wrap it up anyway because I said what I had to say. And now I have to go to the bathroom, and I need something to drink, and I need to take my meds. And if anybody's out that's on meds, if anybody hears this later on or something, you know, so what? You're on meds. Meds is what keep people alive and sane in some cases. And if you want to know about kooks, go watch Bailey Sarian on Mondays and Thursdays on YouTube, and listen to Dark History, or listen to True Crimes, and you get a good taste of what humanity can be like. And we're just falling deeper into that pit of being inhumane instead of progressing and growing and being better human beings. But that's just my personal opinion. So good night, everyone. Anybody want to leave a question, or if anybody ever hears this, I'll be more than happy to respond when I next check my YouTube app. I'm trying to take a social media break, trying to just take time for myself, and that's it. I've been doing research, I've been writing, I've been reading, I've been doing all the things I've put off for the last 7 years because I've been so hung up in this social gathering, this world, international social gathering that we're privy to today. So, anyway, anybody that was here is here. Thanks, and have a good night.